Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss another important essay, and the name of that essay is On Good Resolutions. On Good Resolutions, written by Robert Lynd. The title of the essay is On Good Resolutions. Now, what is the meaning of resolutions? It means that the decision which we make to ourselves, the decision which we take, जिसे हम कहते हैं संकल्प, कोई हम संकल्प लेते हैं, कोई प्रॉमिस करते हैं अपने आप से, and the title of the essay is On Good Resolution. But before we discuss the title or the introduction of the essay, let's first look at the life of Robert Lynd. Robert Lynd is an Irish writer. He belonged to Ireland. That's why he called an Irish writer. And he is one of the greatest essayists of 20th century, of the modern century. And but in the beginning he wrote his essays under the pen name Y.Y. He wrote under the pen name of YY. He also worked as a literary editor of the London magazine, and the name of that magazine was New Chronicle. He was the editor, literary editor of that magazine. The famous critic Desmond McCarthy, one of the best critics, has pointed out the characteristics of Lynd essays in these words. Robert Lynd, quote, I quote, Robert Lynd understand well, bypass the art of the essayist to find out the little bypass for us leading to the thoroughfare of everyday interest into the gardens of infancy, into the garden of fancy and thought. What does it mean? That he points out that it is the primary duty of an essayist, that he should point out the bypass, the ways in which the common man can lead his life, and the essayist describes all these things with imagination and creative thinking. So this is a very good comment by Desmond McCarthy. Lynd always uses a typical Irish sense of humor in his observation of life. The Irish people are famous for their humor, for their sense of laughter. So he uses his Irish sense of humor in the observation of life. He recalls his remark. What does it mean? That the writer recalls, the writer says, the world is crying at just now for return of good humor. The world is in need of good humor because there are so many frustrations, so many tensions, so many expectations which do not fulfill. So we need a sense of humor to overcome all these seriousness and all these failures. So in this way he has elevated the journalistic writing to the level of great literature, like his predecessors, like his previous writers, E.V. Lucas, Chesterton and Belloc. They all wrote, these all writers wrote essays in the newspapers and periodicals. So Lynd also uses that method, and they have elevated the journalistic writing to the level of literature. So this was some of the characteristics of Lynd essays, and about his life. He was brought up, he was in Belfast, and but most of the time he lived in England. Now let's come back to the title of the essay on good resolutions. So, good resolutions is a very, you can say that the title of the essay is belongs to us in many sense, because each person, when the new year comes, he decides to take some kind of resolutions. We take many resolutions, but how we how we follow the path to fulfill those resolutions is a great matter of thinking. And it is also the habit formation, because so many years we have lived and we have developed so many habits. So it is very difficult to change those habits because we are accommodated with those habits. Don't you feel that how it is difficult to change habits? Uh, it is like that. You can understand with this comparison, with this analogy, that if someone is interested in music and I think in literature and all painting, these are all fine arts, and you say that you should study biology, you should study physics and chemistry, then how difficult it is for a person who is interested, who is keenly motivated to learn music and literature and to change the subject and to study science. So, how difficult it is. So, it is just like that. The habits which we have formed, so we are accommodated with it. We are so much feel pleasure with it. They are so much imbibed, so much involved in our daily life that it becomes very difficult to overcome, you have to share, you have to neglect, you have to change habits. So, good resolutions belong to that category. And there is one thing more, that we sometimes we become very moralistic. Sometimes we become very dedicated persons, but somehow we found that the world in which we live, we do not find any way to live in that way, because the morality is very dismal, very low in our environment. So, this is also the case that sometimes we feel that it is impossible to carry on the resolutions. But one thing the writer points out, that's very good thing which we must imbibe in our life, that is the promise and performance. Now, they are correlated. The promise which we have made to ourselves. For example, we have taken this promise in the new year that I would dedicate 5 hours each day to studies, and one day I would succeed in the competitive exam, just as like that RS and IAS. So, for example, you set the target. So, your performance should be according to that. You should prepare yourself according to that. For example, that the writer says that if you want to climb the Himalayas, then it is very low that you should pack up the mule to climb up the very straight height and dangerous ways. So how you could overcome? How would you climb the Himalayas with the mule? Mule, you know that the animal which is neither a dog, neither a horse or nor a donkey, is between the crossbreed of that. The writer wants to point out that your performance should be according to that level, the promise which you have made to yourself. Otherwise, there is no benefit in it. So you should try hard and do something good. And there is one thing more, that some people set very low goals, very low resolutions. Low means that I should get up 7 in the morning. Okay, that for some days you woke up, but after that you left it. You don't make it a habit. You don't find anything new in getting up early in the morning. So I think that one should set a very high goal and try accordingly and try yourself and prepare yourself to that level. And you should perform, you should do change yourself according to that. Thank you.